Thank you to Omaze for sponsoring today's video. We're excited to be working with Omaze again to offer you a chance to win an Airstream Caravelle 20 FB and a Ram 1500 limited truck and support a great cause, Mutt Nation Foundation. Mutt Nation is founded by award-winning artist Miranda Lambert and her mom with a mission to facilitate the adoption of shelter pets with the goal of finding a forever home for them. Mutt Nation also promotes spaying and neutering, and they work with partners to assist and relocate animals during natural disasters. Omaze gives people the chance to dream big and win one-in-a-lifetime prizes, all while helping nonprofits make the world a better place. The Airstream Caravelle is perfect for the casual traveler and road warrior alike. It comes with all the perks packed into one sleek silver package, including memory foam mattress, premium kitchen appliances, a bathroom with modern built-ins, QuietStream air control, and more. You will also be hooked up with a 2022 Ram 1500 limited truck to pull your Airstream and anything else you can think of. So for your chance to win an Airstream Caravelle 20 FB and Ram 1500 limited truck, go to amaze.com/redpoppy and enter now. Donations support the work of Mutt Nation Foundation.
Daylight on the horizon, shining back at me, makes me think of my baby coming home to me. Down the riverside flowing, knowing she's still there. I can't see where she's going, but I hope it's near. Life ain't what it seems. There's still a part of me that's trying. Come lay on my chest. You can find a little rest from hiding.
Those 6x6 Polaris Rangers are a little bit hard to find, and I'm always on the hunt for newer and better equipment if it's in the right price range and it happens to be what I'm looking for. And that 2016 Polaris Ranger was exactly what we needed. There was 6 of those 6x6 side-by-sides for sale in that auction. And it seemed that they were all used as spray rigs, and they all lived pretty hard lives outside. But all of them seemed to run good and have fairly average miles. So I started bidding on 3 of them, and I ended up getting that 2016. And I paid a little bit more than I thought I would have, but I got it. My excavator has been in the hands of the local Kobelco dealership for the last 2 months now. I am at their mercy, and they're not in a hurry. The problem is, these are the warm months when I should be working outside with the excavator. I do have other projects that I can work on, but I'm kind of up against it. I may need to find another excavator. I bought that Kobelco SK70 at an auction in Pennsylvania with the understanding that it ran and drove and moved around on its own power, but that the boom had been damaged. After getting the hydraulic cylinder and the boom fixed, it became obvious there were other issues with the excavator. But I still feel that that excavator is worth saving, so I'm going to try. After renting that excavator that I did a few weeks ago to start working on the trees on the new land, it dawned on me that I probably don't need as big of an excavator as I think I do. I think I'm going to find something in the 12,000 pound range and use that to assist the other excavator when it is repaired. And between the 2 excavators, I should be able to get anything done around here that I need to do. So here I go again, trying to find an excavator close enough to see if I can get it shipped. My gut feeling is this is not a great time to be buying an excavator. Actually, I believe that about a year from now, maybe even 2 years from now, there's going to be some deals to be had on some heavy equipment. But I can't wait and hope in anticipation. I've got projects that I have to get done this summer. And I have to have an excavator to finish these projects in a timely manner. From thinning the trees on the new land, to the root cellar, to the underground sauna, and about a dozen other projects that all revolve around the excavator. Trying to get as much of the front of this done as I can get done, and I want to get the batten strips across the very top first so I can measure the batten strips for the rest of the siding. So here we go. Come on, Ruby, come here. Come inside. The very first year we started building up here, I knew I was not prepared, as far as heavy equipment is concerned, to deal with the kind of challenges that we have around this place. Above and beyond thinning the trees and clearing the land, I knew I had a foundation to dig for the house, a septic system, and many other projects. I also discovered fairly quickly that when the road gets bad, people get stuck. And sometimes a four-wheel drive truck and a winch is not enough to get some of these people unstuck, especially when the road up here is as narrow as it is. I've had a few different occasions where I've had to use either a backhoe or an excavator to get people unstuck. One particular situation, it was a truck and trailer, and it took over 3 hours to get that truck and trailer turned around and sent back down the road. And there's no way I could have done that without a decent sized excavator. On your feet, you gotta have good stuff.
I haven't sat down and...
They just made pizza in there. Go inside and
hours.
get some pizza.
You see it?
You too? Oh, I'm glad you don't smell yet, dirty mechanic.
You just haven't gotten good stuff. And outside.
Yep.
Don't worry, I do.
Our oldest son, Rhett, has graduated this summer, and he's taken his first real full-time job, and he gets to decide if he wants to be a small-town mechanic. One of the local shops was hiring with an apprentice-type program, and against his dad's judgment, Rhett decided he wanted to do it. I asked him, "Do you want to be a small-town mechanic the rest of your life?" He said he wasn't sure, but the only way he's going to figure out what he wants to do with his life is to take a few jobs like this. Now let me be clear, I love the small-town mechanic and I use him regularly, but that job's not for me. When I was his age, I had just gotten a job at the local dealership doing basically the same thing that he was doing, and it took me about 1.5 years to figure out that I wanted to be a plumber. The only advice my dad really ever gave me about how to make a living was to be careful about quitting jobs. Because quitting jobs gets easier and easier every time you do it. Come on. Hurry up, skinny dog. Come on. I'm going to tell you a story I think I've told before because I think it's funny, but when we first moved to southeastern Idaho about 7 years ago, our third daughter, Callie, was only a few years old, and she was going to a preschool in a woman's house that lived right near us. And every day at the end of preschool, the woman would drop Callie off at our house. I had that Jeep Commando at that time that I was fixing up, so I would regularly be in the driveway when Callie would get dropped off. Callie's teacher asked Callie what I did for a living, and she didn't know what to tell her teacher. The teacher asked her if I was a mechanic. Callie said, "What's a mechanic?" The teacher said, "A mechanic is somebody that fixes cars." Callie said, "My dad's a mechanic." So Callie's teacher called my wife, Cedar, and asked when I could work on her car. Cedar then explained to Callie's teacher that I am not a mechanic, at least by trade. That I do not want, in any way, shape, or form, to work on somebody else's cars. I can barely handle my own. The truth is, I love working on cars, and I love all things mechanical. But if I had to do that to make a living, I'm sure that love would dwindle. The closest I ever really came to going to college would have been going to WyoTech, which back in the 90s and the early 2000s was the place to go to school if you wanted to be a part of the hot rod scene. And that's what I thought I wanted to do. But the more I talked about this with my wife, and the more I realized my family was the most important thing I had, I realized we would have to move somewhere where one of the big hot rod shops would be, and it would likely be in a big city somewhere. And I just wasn't sure if that was best for my family or if ultimately that's what I wanted to do with my life. What I do know is you got to be willing to turn a few rocks over and put the effort in to figure out what brings you the most joy. And while I was doing this throughout my adult life, I always had the day job, and that was plumbing. And as much as I love plumbing, I knew I didn't want to do it forever. And I always wished I had more time to do the things I was passionate about. Cedar and I have told our 3 older kids that they should pursue their passions, but they also better pay their bills because we're not paying them. That's about as far as it goes with the advice on how to make a living. Figure out a way to do the things you want to do with your time. As I have spent my adult life trying to figure out just how and where I want to spend my time, what I have found is most people get comfortable and they stop scratching the itch. They stop looking, they stop dreaming, and they accept the fate of that moment. They become too comfortable with life's existence and they stop looking. What are your friends going to think when they find out you looked at that thing? What are your friends going to think if you quit that job to start that business you've always wanted to do? Well, what I know is my friends don't pay my bills, number one. Number two, I found that friends come and go. Ultimately, I've also found that if the pursuit is comfort and mediocrity, life will give that to you. But if your pursuit is also to do things on your terms and to live life in your way, if you're willing to put the work in, life will also give that to you. I haven't had a normal job since I was 34 years old. The reason Callie didn't know what I did for a living and thought I was a mechanic was because I'm always home in the daytime. Most of her friends' dads aren't. Life is what you make it, friends. I would strongly suggest you take the path less traveled and put the effort in to live life the way you want to live it, because life has a tendency to be awful short. We hope you're doing great, and we'll see you in a few days.